Shalom, back with part 3. Let's continue here. Again, it says here, earlier this year, the Pentagon created a task force. All right, they're talking about that Space Force. Okay, people? All right, that, Trump, mentioned. But again, that goes back to Ronald Reagan, all right, during the 80s. Okay, so they've always had a Space Force in reality, people, all right? It's not really a new thing. They've always had one, all right? They've always known that, the elites have always known that Yahawah was coming back, okay? They've always known that. All right, so it says here, the Pentagon created a task force to see if such aerial objects pose a threat. All right, threat, huh? All right, let's get back into the scriptures here. Give me a minute. All right, let's go to Revelations. First of all, let's go to Revelations 17 first. All right? They talk about whether or not they pose a threat. I'm going to show you who the real threat is here. All right? Revelation 17 and 14. What does it say here? And these shall make war with the Lamb. They're going to make war with Yahawah and the angels. Okay? Do you see that there? These shall make war with the Lamb. Who's that talking about? It's talking about America, Babylon the Great. Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. You got that, people? All right? What does it say down here in verse 18? Right? We're talking about the whore, America, Babylon the Great, all right? And the woman who is that whore, America, Babylon the Great, without source, is that great city, right? America, Babylon the Great, which reigneth over the kings of the earth, right? Who gives out all those sanctions out to these other nations. You don't see Iran putting sanctions on anybody, or Russia, do you? Or China, right? Or Korea, do you? No, you don't. No, this is America that does that, right? They even do it to their own allies, right? The EU nations, right? Who's going to send missiles onto America? And by the way, you can read that right here. And the 10 horns, those are the EU nations, which thou sawest upon the beast. The beast is NATO, right? The North Atlantic Treaty Organization. These shall hate the whore. Who's the whore? America, Babylon the Great. And shall make her desolate and naked, eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Now, how do you think they're going to do that? Fly over America, pour gasoline, light a match? No. They're going to send intercontinental ballistic missiles, that nuclear fire, onto America. America's own allies. That's what you're reading right there. Now, why is that going to happen? It tells you in the next verse. For the God power, right? Yahawah Bashim, Yahawah will put it in their hearts. Hearts in Hebrew is lob, which means minds. So he's going to put it in their hearts and minds into the EU nations, America's allies, to do what? To fulfill his will, that they send the ICBMs onto America, Babylon the Great. Now you see who rules in the kingdom of men. You understand? The Heavenly Father. Daniel 4:17, Proverbs 21:1, okay, Escalatius 10:4, they all tell you who rules in the kingdom of men. All right? And that's the Heavenly Father, Yahawah, via his son, Yahawah. There you go. All right? Because he's been given all power and authority and the keys of heaven and earth. All right? There you go. All right? So, anyway, let's jump to Revelation, the 12th chapter. All right? To show you. All right. Let's go to verse 7 here. And there was a war in heaven, meaning in the skies, people, all right? Or if you want to say, in outer space there, all right? But it's going to happen in the skies, right? Because they're everywhere, all right? The chariots. And like I said, the angels are here on the earth. Some take human form, all right? And others, they'll just be invisible, that you can't see them. All right, but they're here. And they're also up there in the skies, and they're up there with the chariots. and they can cloak themselves into clouds, or they can actually just completely just be out of sight where you can't see them in their cloaking device. All right. All right. So there was a war in heaven. This is what's getting ready to happen, people. Because again, we already read Yahawah is returning. He's coming back with fire. He's coming back for war. Okay? He's not coming back, to give out, flowers and candy, hugs and kisses. All right? Because what? He's going to take this man's system down and set up his kingdom. You understand? Where righteousness is going to rule instead of wickedness. All right? So there was a war in heaven. This is what's getting ready to happen. Michael the archangel and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon is representative of what? Okay, let me give me a minute, all right, to show you, all right. Okay, people, you see this picture here? The beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, all right? You see that? You see the woman holding the golden cup in her hand? Again, you read this stuff in the scriptures, people, all right? It's all over the scriptures, including in Revelations. So you see, she's the whore, Merca Babylon the Great. You see that? You understand that this is a system, okay? See, she's riding the beast, the red dragon, all right? Now, there's a parable in Revelations, the 17th chapter there, all right? And it tells you, if you have wisdom, right? And it tells you about, there are 7 kings, meaning kingdoms, all right? And 5 have fallen, and 1 is. All right, so let's break that down for you. Germania Major is one of the 5 that have fallen. Germania Minor, you see it? And there's Germania Minor. And then you have 3 more that have fallen. That would be the French, the Spanish, and the Greek Empire, right? Those are the kingdoms that have fallen. Now, the one that is, because John the Revelator, right? He was in his 90s on the island of Patmos during the time of the Roman Empire, right? He was a prisoner in the salt mine when he wrote the book of Revelation. So the one that is the Roman Empire, and you see the Romans there. All right, and then it says, the parable, 1 is yet to come, and he must continue a short space. That would be the British Empire. You see British there? Right? Okay, now, so that makes the 7, right? I gave you the 5 that have fallen. I gave you the one that is, and the one that was to come for a short space would be the British Empire. That's 7. So those are the 7 kingdoms. But there would be an 8th that comes out of the 7. All right? Who is that? She's sitting on the beast. America Babylon the Great. She comes out of Great Britain. She comes out of the British Empire. Was not America started with 13 colonies? Absolutely. Now you people have understanding. And you can read more about that in Daniel, the 7th chapter. She's that little horn. All right? There you go. Anyway, we're moving on, people. That's to give you some understanding and clarity that you're dealing with the Edomite beast system. So now you know what the dragon is. All right? And in modern day, it's broken down to the EU nations, America's allies, the EU nations, and NATO. All right? And then, of course, America Babylon the Great. She's not a part of the EU nation, but she's been a part of NATO and actually sort of has acted as the head snake of NATO. All right? But now you can see how things are, right? You can see what the Lord has done, right? Everything is being manifested. All right? How could Satan cast out Satan? Well, nation divided cannot stand. It has a tent. Edomite versus Edomite. All right, as we read, what is that? Isaiah 19:2. Egyptian against Egyptian. Kingdom against kingdom. You understand? All right. So now you know about the dragon. All right. So Michael fought with his angels, right? They're going to fight. It's getting ready to happen against who? The dragon. Against Esau, Edom, and his military. All right? And the dragon will fight with his F-18s, right? As we just saw in the article. All right? And they're going to prevail not. They're going to be annihilated. They're going to be slaughtered. All right? Esau, Edom, and the military. All right? As will the other nations. All right? In the battle of Armageddon. All going to be slaughtered. All right? We're not even going to lose one angel, one ship. You understand that? Neither was their place found anymore in the heavens. And the great dragon, right? The Edomite beast, the system, will be cast out. See, that old serpent called the devil and Satan. All right? Now, you already know who the dragon is. All right? Let's get into some etymology of words of understanding for you people. All right? So, see, dragon here.
Strong's G, 1404. Drakon.
And you already know what the system is. I already gave it to you, right? You see, a dragon, a great serpent, a name for Satan. Satan means adversary. I'm going to prove to you that in a moment, right? It means adversary, people, all right? That's all it means, right? All right. The serpent, snake, serpent. The ancient serpent was an emblem of cunning and wisdom. All right. Now, when we get into the breakdown of that serpent that, was in the garden, it's not talking about a talking snake. It's talking about a man, all right, who was cunning and had wisdom. Wisdom in what? In wickedness, because that's where it lies, all right? Now, let's move on here. Let's get to the devil, all right? Let's get to that one. Give you further understanding.
Strong's G, 1228. Diabolos.
All right, watch this, people. Learn something. So this is what devil means. Prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely. All right? False accuser, slanderer. Now, do you see here? Metaphor applied to a man. See, it's not talking about the spiritual entity Satan. It's talking about man. Yeah, Esau, Edom. All right? So it's not talking about some made-up character, in a red suit with two horns, a tail, and a pitchfork. No, this is talking about man. Applied to a man who by opposing the cause of God, you see that? And what does it say in John? St. John 2:18. Let's jump over there for a minute. All right? Little children, it is the last time. And as ye have heard that anti-Messiah, all right, shall come, even now there are many anti-Messiahs whereby we know that it is the last time, right? You're in the last day, right? And basically it's talking about a nation because the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. And who's the wicked? Malachi 1:4 tells you it's Esau, Edom, the white man, all right? And that they are a people, a nation, whom the Lord have indignation forever. And Isaiah 34:5-6 will tell you, his sword shall come down upon Idumea, all right? They are the people, nation, cursed to the Lord's judgment. You understand that? There you go, all right? So anyway, going to end it here, and we'll be right back with part 4. Shalom.